Were you a fan of the original Lost in Space series that aired September 15th, 1965, and you're also a model builder that has the Mobius Models 1/35th scale Jupiter 2, and you never had a chance to put figures in the freeze tubes? Well, now you have a chance to do that because GreenStrawberry has a set of figures in 1/35th scale that are resin, specifically made for the freeze tubes. These kits here that you see, they're officially licensed Lost in Space kits, and we have one to go over that has 6 figures for the freeze tubes, and we also have 2 Dr. Smiths. So let's take a look at them over on the bench. The first figure we're going to take a look at is the Lost in Space Dr. Smith Volume 1. This is 1/35th scale resin kit 135025. Let's take a quick look at the instruction sheet. It's one single sheet. Up top shows you the pieces that come with the kit, and also the red shows you where to cut off the pour stubs. The bottom of the sheet here is going to just show you where the one arm goes, and that's all there is to the instructions. The pieces of the kit come in a clear resealable bag. The first part we'll take a look at is Dr. Smith's arm. They put the pour stub in the perfect spot right on the inside where it's flat. This way you can cut that off and made it right up to the body with no problem. His sleeve was created very well. Whoever drew it up put nice folds and creases in it. This way you can use your washes and your highlights to make that really pop and look good. His hand finger separation was drawn up really nice. It's just not a clump of fingers. And on the side here you can see they left a gap with the thumb to kind of give it in a resting position. The sculpture was done excellently. I have no problems with this at all. Next up, let's take a look at Dr. Smith's body. It's a full form cast of his body. His arm is bent in. They put the pour stub at his feet. This way you could cut those off flat and not really have too much to worry about. You can see his belt here was done really nicely. You can see the belt hooks, the collar on his jacket, the pocket folds, the folds in his uniform. It's kind of flat on top as it should be, and you'll be able, like I keep saying, to put your shadows and highlights in here. Right here is nice and flat where you're going to pop his one arm on and be done with the figure kit. Now let's take a look at Dr. Smith's face. They did a nice job on the features. It's a pretty close resemblance. The hair is done very well with creases in it. This way you can highlight that and bring out his hair. You can see his tie right there underneath his collar. So there's a lot of detail on this small kit, and it should be fun to paint up. The next kit we're going to look at is Dr. Smith Volume 2, kit number 135026 in 1/35th scale. The second Dr. Smith has the same type of instruction sheet. The red shows you where to take off the pour stubs. This way you can put the kit together. But this kit comes with 4 individual pieces: the body, the head, and 2 arms. We'll start with the arms again on this one. The placement of the pour stubs is on the flat portion of the arms, which makes it easy to take off. And as you can see, nice folds, nice creases. This way you can put in those highlights and shadows, make it pop. Again, the fingers were very nicely sculpted. You can see the gaps between the fingers, and then on the side of the hand, it's in a resting position again. You'll be able to see that the thumb is kind of separate from the rest of the hand. And here's his right arm. The same thing with the pour stub, the same sculpture. Everything is basically the same. Very well done on both pieces, where you can actually enhance this with your paint work. And here's the body to Dr. Smith Part 2. Again, pour stubs on the bottom. You can see very nice detail on the belt, his tie, the collar, the creases. Everything that goes into making a quality figure is here. The artist did an excellent job. Same thing on the back. You can see his belt, the creases in the back of his pant leg where they would be pressed. The upper portions are soft and flat as they should be. Both sides of the arms are nice and smooth for adding the arms onto the kit. And last but not least from this kit is the head. The head is well sculpted, nice recesses in the cheeks, the eyes lean back. You have the nice recesses in the ear also. The hair is sculpted very well, which you'll be able to do highlights and shadows on, of course, to bring out the depth of his hair. So again, this piece done very, very nicely. Up next is a set for the freeze tube, and this is with all 6 characters, including the major. This is kit 135023. A quick look at the instructions. It's just one sheet. All 6 characters are fully formed characters, no extra parts. The only thing you're going to have to do is, with the red symbol, take all the pour stubs off. And you can see up between the legs there is going to be some flesh that you have to work with. Here we have all 6 characters, starting from the tallest to the shortest. You have the major, then John, then Maureen, then Judy, then Penny, and then Will. We're going to start off with the major, and this is going to go for all of the figures. All the figures, their suit that they were using in this scene, the silver suits with the gloves, are all sculpted nicely. Like you can see the folds and the wrinkles and everything like that, where you'd be able to put a black wash in to highlight that silver. On the bottom, of course, is the pour stub. On his feet, where it'll be able to be taken off easily. You can see in the middle of his legs too is where the flash is. You're going to have to use a nice sharp blade to get that out and make things nice and smooth. Same thing on the back. All the wrinkles, folds, everything that the uniform should have in it is there, and it'll be nice to paint that up and add your highlights and your shadows to bring out that uniform. Next up, we'll take a look at his face. Again, very highly detailed. The sculptor did an excellent job on this. His hair is detailed, ears, his eyes being back, the nose, the lips, everything is really top notch how the sculptor did his work. Next up is John. We're not going to talk about the uniforms because the uniforms are basically the same on the rest of the figures. The main points of the rest of the figures are the heads. We'll look at each one and give you my honest opinion about them. You can see his eyes, his lips, his nose are well defined, his hair is well defined, and then we'll move on to next is Maureen. Here's his little side-by-side of Maureen and the figure. The figure is nice, but I don't think it captures the essence of the character. I think the face is a little on the fatter side and a little too masculine for me. Next up is Judy, and here we go again with another side-by-side. As you can see, the sculpt is nice. You could definitely tell it's a female. The hair is done very well. The braid in the back, you can do all that done up all nicely. But to me, again, the face doesn't represent what we saw on screen. Don't know what was going on, but these two female characters have a more masculine and harder look than the softer features of the women that we saw in the show. And here's Penny. We'll do our side-by-side of the real actress and the facial features of this kit. And here on the back, you can see they added her ponytail. They actually put the little ribbon in the back to make it look good. And you can paint that up and make it look very nice. And again, here's her facial features up close. I don't know if they were having trouble because of the sleeping effect because they're in the freeze tubes. But again, you could tell it's a female, but it may be just harder to design a female figure than a male figure. And next up is young Will. This is our final character. As you can see, his head is done up nicely. The features are really nice. The hair is sculpted beautifully. Really, really good job on this. Unfortunately, there was one deviation in the kit. It looks like it's hollow, but this piece of boot was totally cracked out and missing. It could be repaired with putty, but if you do come across something like this, immediately get a hold of GreenStrawberry, send them pictures, let them know what's going on, and they will take care of you right away. Unfortunately, I do have to show things like this because when I do get products, I can't leave anything out, any kind of discrepancies or anything like that, because it's unfair to you, the viewer, for me to say that everything was perfectly done when something isn't done perfectly, or a little quality control issue was mixed and this one slipped by somebody. It's no big deal, can be rectified. You just have to wait a little bit for the part to come back to you that is a complete part. So that's it on these figures from GreenStrawberry. Remember, these are officially licensed Lost in Space characters that GreenStrawberry has produced for us. Overall, beautiful sculpts as always. Very nice detail in them. Unfortunately, we did get one piece that had a defect in it. Like I said, all you got to do is contact GreenStrawberry. They will rectify any situation that you have a problem with one of their products. They are a very, very good company. So I hope you enjoyed the review, and I have one question for you. We're looking to collaborate with more and more creators. If you are a mini painter and you have a YouTube channel, we're looking for somebody. We don't want these pieces to sit around. So if we can find somebody that runs a very good YouTube channel and is a mini painter and would like to paint these up for a video that we can show on the HobbyLink International channel, please contact me at hobbylinkinternational@gmail.com. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. We have a few more GreenStrawberry things that we have to review, and we'll see you on those. Take care, and bye-bye, everybody.